Kristen. I really should actually be saying aloha and welcome to our Tiki Inspired Live today. I'm part of Brood and Booze. We are a fun-loving mother-daughter and duo who love all things cocktails, spirits, wine, you name it, we're into it. This live today, inspired by our recent trip to Disney. We love going to the Polynesian. They have a bar there called Trader Sam's Grog Grotto. They have amazing cocktails. Their bar is by far the coolest place I have ever been. Definitely has its dust of Mickey magic in there. You order a cocktail and things happen in the bar. It's super, super cool. So I was inspired to show you guys how to make some of these cocktails that we had and enjoyed this past week. A lot of you, I'm sure, have had some tiki cocktails when you've been on vacation, or maybe you have a local bar. Tiki actually started in the 30s. There was a gentleman by the name of, I have a little cheat sheet today, Ernest Nat, which he's known as Don Beach. He created the Don Beachcomber in Southern California in 1933. Then Mr. Victor Bergeron, better known as Trader Vic, went to Don's establishment and thought, this is an amazing concept. I want to take it and run with it. So he actually opened up Trader Vic's in 1937 in Northern California. So you've got these two guys who are kind of the father of tiki. They wanted to create a spot where people could go and relax and escape because it was right around the Depression era. So they wanted to create a place that could send you to the islands and you could forget about your worries. Well, they were really, really popular in the 40s and the 50s. And then actually right around the 90s, the whole tiki culture kind of died out, which is awesome for now is in the 2000s, cocktail culture has exploded. And so tiki culture actually has come back. So today I'm going to show you 4 cocktails, 2 that were inspired by the ones that we had at Trader Sam's, and then I'm going to actually show you 2 of my favorite. So the first off, we're going to do a simple pina colada. So everybody thinks the pina colada is this blended frozen drink. Well, it actually didn't start out that way. But the originator was from Puerto Rico. His name is Ramon Monchito Marrero. He was working at the Caribe Hilton in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and created this kind of milkshake drink. The first drink didn't have alcohol in it at all. It was made with heavy cream, pineapple juice, and cream of coconut. They shook it in a shaker and poured it over ice. It was more like a kid's milkshake drink rather than something alcoholic. So then it was so popular that they ended up turning it into the blended frozen drink that we know and love today. But I actually have a recipe that's kind of a combination of the two, which I like a lot better, and it doesn't require a blender. So we're going to use today is the Don Q Pina. You can actually use just a regular crystal rum if you want in this, but I like this just because it gives it a little extra pineapple kind of vibe to it. And I have this really adorable glass that we're going to use. It's like so cute. Looks like a pineapple. So we're going to get a shaker. Okay. We're going to add some ice. Okay. You're going to put 2 ounces of your pineapple rum. One. Oop, looks like I'm going to have to go buy some more rum. And 2. Then you're going to add an ounce of pineapple juice. Perfect. And then 1 ounce of cream of coconut. A lot of people use the original recipe called for Coco Lopez. I actually had this stuff from Trader Joe's, so I'm just going to use that. You're going to do an ounce of that. Perfect. Right in there. Give it a lid. Give it a good shake. You can actually make this drink in bulk as well, but I would not follow this recipe. I used it at a party once, just thinking, okay, I can just double or triple and make this cocktail. It was ridiculously strong. I had to add way more pineapple juice to it. My friends loved it, but it was a little too much for me. Take the top off. Pour it into our cute little pina colada glass. I should have made a double. It's a little on the small side. Then you're going to garnish with a pineapple wedge and a cherry. There you go, your classic pina colada without the blender. Let's give it a taste and see if it's any good. Very refreshing. I'm getting those island vibes right now. Next cocktail is actually one that we had at Trader Sam's. So we have our cane rum. This one is made in Jamaica. So that's a Jamaican rum there. We have our Guyana rum, which I'll show you what that looks like. This is just a 5-year age. What's cool with Guyana rum is they actually, in some of their rums, they use a wooden still to make their rums. I'm like, how is this even possible? I would think that the rum would fall through the wood, but I guess they have these very thick, dense wood that they use, and they create these stills and make some of the most delicious rum. So we're using 2 different types of rum. We're also using 151. I'll give you a little look at that too, which be gentle with this stuff. It's very strong. So then we've got some juices. We've got some pineapple, some orange, some lime juice. So then we have some fun syrups. So if you go to a tiki bar, you'll sometimes hear things like falernum or orgeat. This one calls for orgeat, which is an orange and almond flavored syrup. This one I got at our local Total Wine. It says Mai Tai, but it's actually the orange and almond orgeat. So we're going to put that in our cocktail. We are going to make a zombie. So the zombie was an original cocktail made by Don Beach from Don Beachcomber. It's rumored that he created this cocktail because someone was there with a really, really bad hangover and had to go back to work. So Don said, okay, I'll make you something that's going to make you feel real, real good. Gentleman had the cocktail, went to work. Guess the next day he came back and was so upset. He was like, I was a zombie at my meeting. So hence why they call this drink a zombie. Actually, at the Beachcomber, you're only allowed to have 2 zombies because it's so strong. The version that they make at Disney is a little more tame. So we're going to do that version today. First, we are going to put 3/4 ounce of cane rum. This is our Jamaican rum. 3/4 ounce of cane rum. I'm going to do 3/4 ounce of the Guyana rum. This stuff smells so good. It's got like a very like caramel, almost like wood kind of vibe to it. It's got a lot of depth of flavor, which I really like. And it's really very reasonably priced bottle of rum. So 3/4 ounce of this. There. Now we're only going to do 1/2 ounce of the 151 because again, it's super strong. This is the Gosling's 151 overproofed rum. And this one, you smell it. It smells really good. It smells like molasses, but this will kick you in your pants. So do 1/2 ounce of that. There we go. That right in. Now we are going to add 1 ounce of our orgeat syrup, so that almond and orange flavored syrup. 1/2 ounce of that. That's one thing I like about tiki cocktails is it's very like layers of flavor. Everybody thinks they're like these super syrupy, sweet kind of drinks, and they can be, but a lot of them are very well balanced and have a lot of interesting flavors to them, which I think is really cool. So we have the orgeat syrup. We're going to do an ounce of orange juice. Go. Half an ounce of pineapple. Whoop. And a half an ounce of lime juice. There we go. A dash of cinnamon. I know, right? Cinnamon in a cocktail? You think that it would be more of like a, apple cider kind of vibe, but no, the cinnamon in this makes it actually really, really tasty. Just a dash. I like cinnamon, so I could probably go haywire on this, but you just need a little bit. Okay, put the top on and give it a good shake. I have this cute little skull glass that I have in my Halloween decorations. It's not quite the zombie, but I think it'll still be a very cute cocktail. Give it a good shake. Come on, there we go. Pour that right into your glass. There you go. Our zombie. How cute is that? Let's give it a taste. Woo. You can definitely see why you're only allowed to have 2 of these. You're mighty strong. Now, our next cocktail is called a Mayday. So my mom and I went to this place called the Sazerac House here in New Orleans. If you're in town, it's an amazing place to go. It is a walk-through museum all about cocktail culture here in New Orleans. They actually have a section about rum, and they talk about rum cocktails and how rum came to be. Because we have a lot of sugar cane here in Louisiana, they do make a lot of rum here. So one of the cocktails that my mom and I found from this is called a Mayday, and this is her favorite cocktail. It's also a fun cocktail because we get to light something on fire, which fire and cocktails, why not, right? Okay, let me grab you some ingredients. So we're going to use the Guyana rum again. We're going to also use the cane rum. I have noticed that a lot of these cocktails call for 2 types of rum, which I'm not mad about it. Our pineapple juice, our orange juice, our lime we already have. Then we are going to actually use some falernum. So falernum is kind of like the orgeat syrup. Falernum has flavors of lime, almond, ginger. It's from Jamaica, and each person has their own falernum type syrup. They say that how the name came to be is that someone asked, "What's the name of this?" And in a very thick Jamaican accent, she said, "You have to make your own." Well, in her accent, it sounded like they said falernum. So that's where the name falernum came to be. So again, it's kind of that sweet kind of flavor. So you don't use a ton of it, but it does definitely make the cocktail. And then we're also going to use a little bit of grenadine. So we have our shaker again. So this one, you're going to do an ounce of the Guyana rum. Let me throw some ice in here before I forget. Okay, let's get some ice. Okay. So, ounce of the Guyana rum. An ounce of the cane rum. Yeah, it's still 90 degrees here in New Orleans, so these cocktails are definitely going to be super refreshing. I already feel like I'm in the islands already. An ounce of pineapple juice. An ounce of orange juice. Half an ounce of lime juice. Half an ounce of our falernum. I'll show you the brand. It's actually a New Orleans brand. I was at, again, Total Wine today and noticed this. And they're actually from Baton Rouge, so it's a local brand. Yeah, you smell it. It's very kind of sweet smelling, but again, lots of that ginger, almond kind of smell. It's really good. So we're going to do a half an ounce of that in there. Do a quarter of the ounce of the orgeat. The orgeat, again, has a more like orange kind of flavor to it. So we're going to do about a quarter of that. And the same amount of grenadine. This is going to give it this really pretty kind of pink color. I'm just using a little bottle of grenadine. Pomegranate syrup you could use as well. That's there. Oops. That goes right in there. Okay. Top on. Give it a shot. Get my arm worked out and a cocktail. This drink actually calls for crushed ice. So I'm going to use this kind of bigger glass just because it looks kind of like a boat to me. I'm going to add our crushed ice. Ice. Let's strain this right over top. Look at that color. Oh, so pretty. Okay. Now that's cocktail. Gonna add a little bit more ice to it. And I'm going to take a little atomizer, which has some herb saint in it. So herb saint is kind of the sister to absinthe. So absinthe was really popular back in the day. They used wormwood and kind of made people go crazy. So now they make things like herb saint, which has the same kind of licorice flavor, but it's not bad for you. So we're going to spray a couple of spritzes. Now for the fun part. So I hollowed out a lime wedge. I know it looks kind of like a lemon, but it's a lime. We're going to put him to float like an island. Going to take a sugar cube. To take a little bit of our 151. Again, I would just be careful when you do this. Take a little bit of your 151. You're going to put it right over the cube. A little bit right on the cube. We're going to see if this will light on fire. Let's see. There is your Mayday cocktail. It is a beautiful, delicious drink. I'll take a little sip. Ooh, I think that one's really good. Last but not least, we are going to make a spiced island. So this is the cocktail that I had at Trader Sam's this past couple days ago, and I really liked it. If you are not a rum drinker, this is actually made with bourbon, which a lot of people like, which I know I like. I have this cute little glass. Aren't these adorable? These were actually my grandmother's, and they're from SoCo. I guess she saved tops and got these amazing glasses. Isn't that so cool? So we're actually just going to make the drink right in this glass right here. So we're going to use 2 ounces of this. I'm going to use the top of my shaker. This is an ounce pour, so we're about 2 ounces. So we're going to do 2 ounces of bourbon. They use Knob Creek bourbon in their cocktail. It's a special select reserve that they use specifically for Disney. But I'm just going to use, again, I just use the bullet to use something called Allspice Dram. So Allspice Dram is a rum that has been infused with allspice, or they like to call it pimento from the pimento tree. So this gets a half an ounce of the allspice dram. And it's a very holiday spice kind of vibe. I'm getting a lot of clove and cinnamon. Oh, it's delicious. Okay, that. Then we're going to use that orgeat syrup again. This is just going to be 1/4 of an ounce. And then we're going to add 1.5 ounces of pineapple. Okay, add some ice. Probably should use the bigger glass, but it's too cute. I can't resist. They garnished it with a orchid flower. I don't have orchid flowers right now, so I'm just going to use the stalk of a pineapple. And there you go. Spiced Island. Let's taste it. Definitely. It brings me back to Trader Sam's. Well, I hope y'all really enjoyed this Tiki Inspired Live today. If you want some more tiki cocktails, let me know. We'll put the recipes on our page. Don't forget to like us on here and follow. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have a good one. Aloha.